There comes a moment in every person's life when the outside world feels heavy, not just loud, overstimulating, not just noisy, demanding. People want your time. Everyone has an opinion. Everything is urgent. Everyone is talking, posting, explaining, convincing. And slowly, without noticing, you start losing the sound of your own mind. You stop hearing yourself. You become a shadow moving through conversations you didn't choose. You start chasing approval you don't need. You begin living a life that isn't yours. And in the middle of this chaos, you wonder, where did I lose myself? Here is the paradox of life. The world teaches you to go outward to find yourself, but the Stoics teach you to go inward to create yourself. People think power is found in the outside world, networking, visibility, social presence, reputation, image. But Stoicism teaches the opposite truth. A person becomes strong when they withdraw, not to escape life, but to build the strength required to live it. The deepest transformation starts in the quietest place, your home. Not because the world is bad, but because you cannot master the world before you master yourself. That is what this video is about. Not isolation, not running away, but building the inner citadel that nothing can shake. Part 1. Withdrawal is preparation. Modern society fears the word alone. People hear solitude and imagine emptiness. But for the Stoics, solitude was a forge, the furnace where character was molded, virtue was trained, and deep transformation happened. Look at Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, the most powerful man in the world. Thousands calling his name, hundreds trying to influence him, legions ready to move at his command. And yet he writes his most important thoughts. These writings are for myself. Not for the Senate, not for the people, not for history, for himself, alone, in silence, in a small tent at night during war. He withdrew so he could re-enter the world with clarity. Staying home is not a retreat. It is a strategic withdrawal. It is a spiritual realignment. It is saying, before I move outward, I go inward. The weak escape problems by running away. The strong face problems by pausing, understanding themselves before making the next move. This is the first Stoic lesson. Stoic Lesson 1. The world is loud. Wisdom requires silence. Part 2. Silence restores clarity. We live in an era where thinking is replaced by reacting. Reacting to notifications, reacting to opinions, reacting to conversations, reacting to headlines, reacting to emotions. People no longer think, they echo. But silence is different. Silence is a confrontation with yourself. Without distraction, thoughts appear. What do I truly want? What are my values? Who am I becoming? What am I afraid to admit? Silence reveals truth. Noise hides it. When you stay home intentionally, something sacred happens. You rediscover your own voice. Not the voice shaped by external pressure, the voice shaped by inner truth. This is why Marcus Aurelius said, "The interior of a person is a universe more vast than Rome." Home becomes the doorway to that universe. Story: the day Marcus disappeared. There is a story preserved in ancient sources. During a campaign, Marcus Aurelius disappeared from the military camp for hours. His generals panicked, thinking he had been abducted or killed. But they found him alone near the river, writing in his notebook. He told them, "I was negotiating with myself." He wasn't hiding from the world. He was preparing to return to it, with calm, with clarity, with virtue. This is what staying home means. You negotiate with yourself. You rewrite your story. You face the truth you avoid in noise. Affirmations, inner quiet. Pause. Breathe slowly. Repeat after me. I create silence within myself. I hear my own thoughts clearly. I return to my inner home. My mind becomes a refuge. Noise no longer controls me. Part 3. Discipline is forged alone. Here is a hard truth. What most people call discipline is just social pressure. They wake up because someone expects them to. They work because someone is watching. They study because a deadline forces them. They perform because applause rewards them. But true discipline, the kind that changes your life, is built in solitude. When nobody is watching, when nobody knows, when nobody praises you, when nobody is impressed. That is where character is created. Seneca understood this. He said, "Character is what a person does without being observed." You become disciplined at home. In the quiet hour when you choose to read instead of scroll. In the silent moment when you choose to meditate instead of escape. In the unseen morning when you choose to write instead of complain. Home becomes your training ground for discipline. No pressure, no audience, no external force. Only you and your promise to yourself. Part 4. You outgrow the wrong people. Solitude is not just about you. It reveals others. When you step back from the world, you begin seeing who adds value and who subtracts it. You start noticing who calls when they need something, who calls when you succeed, who disappears when you struggle, who encourages your growth, who hates your improvement, who is loud but empty, who is quiet but loyal. Distance reveals truth. This is why Marcus wrote, "Avoid the restless, they break the rhythm of the soul." Seneca advised Lucilius, "Choose one person of virtue rather than 1,000 of noise." Epictetus said, "Do not spend your time with people who make you worse." Staying home is not isolation. It is protection. Protection from negative energy, protection from envy, protection from mediocrity, protection from chaos. You do not cut people out. They fall off as you grow. Affirmations, inner circle. Slow pacing. I choose depth over attention. I choose loyalty over noise. I choose peace over popularity. I choose growth over comfort. My circle becomes smaller and stronger. Part 5. The Inner Citadel. This next section is the heart of Stoicism. We're going deeper because most people never truly understand this concept. Marcus Aurelius wrote about something called the Inner Citadel, a fortress, an invisible stronghold inside your mind, a spiritual city defended by virtue. Nothing can break into it, not insult, not chaos, not drama, not failure, not loss, not betrayal, not fear, not envy, because it is inside you, not outside. Home is the physical model of the inner citadel. When you close the door, you are not separating from the world. You are entering a place where the world cannot touch you. In your home, in silence, you are building that fortress. Brick by brick, habit by habit, standard by standard, virtue by virtue. This is why staying home is power. You withdraw into your citadel to reinforce the walls of your mind. You study, you write, you meditate, you plan, you reflect, you build new standards, you end old patterns, you challenge your beliefs, you create your philosophy. Every day, the walls grow stronger. But let me tell you something important. The inner citadel is not isolation. It is preparation for duty. The Stoic does not build a fortress to hide. He builds a fortress to walk into the world without fear. He can speak without shaking. He can listen without reacting. He can fail without breaking. He can be alone without suffering. The inner citadel is the psychological immunity to chaos. Exercise, how to build it. Let me give you a guided practice. For 7 days, do this. Daily ritual, 20 to 30 minutes. Sit alone, no phone. Open a notebook. Write the answers to 3 questions. What disturbed me today that was outside my control? Why did it disturb me? How could I respond if it happens again? This simple practice trains awareness, non-reaction, emotional control, strategy, clarity. It builds the walls of the citadel. Marcus did this every night. His private notebook became Meditations, the greatest Stoic work ever written. Modern parallel, cognitive psychology. Modern psychology discovered the same truth. Writing about your internal world reduces anxiety and increases emotional regulation. Solitude is recognized by neuroscience now as a way to strengthen executive function and reduce emotional reactivity. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. Part 6. Solitude creates identity. Here is something few people understand. Most people do not know who they are, because they have never been alone long enough to meet themselves. They only know the version shaped by environment, family expectations, social norms, peer pressure, culture, trends, approval, validation. Their identity is a mirror, reflecting others. But solitude breaks the mirror. In silence, you ask, what do I want without influence? What do I believe without pressure? What do I value without applause? When these answers come, your identity is born, not given to you, chosen by you. That is real freedom. Story: Cato and the Sacred Mind. Cato the Younger, the most uncompromising Stoic in Roman history, had a ritual. Before every public speech, before every Senate meeting, before every act of resistance, he spent hours alone, in silence, not planning his rhetoric, but aligning his principles. He entered the world already decided, what he stood for, what he wouldn't compromise, what he would defend at any cost. Solitude created his identity. Public life revealed it. Part 7. Emotional independence. Freedom is not the absence of people. It is the absence of dependence on people. When you stay home, you learn something that most people never discover. I can enjoy others, but I don't need them to be whole. This is not arrogance. This is maturity. Seneca wrote, "He who depends least upon others is most like a god." Epictetus taught, "The only path to freedom is indifference to what is outside your control." Indifference does not mean lack of love. It means you love without chains. You can care deeply, but you do not collapse if someone leaves. You can give your heart, but you do not lose yourself if it breaks. You can walk beside others, but you still stand alone. This is emotional sovereignty, and solitude teaches it. Affirmations: sovereign heart. Repeat slowly. I am whole, even when alone. I love without losing myself. I detach from outcomes. I control my reactions, not the world. My heart is steady. My emotions are mine. Part 8. Home as a training ground. The world uses home for entertainment. You use home for transformation. There are two ways to spend time at home: escape or evolve. One weakens you, the other builds you. Your home can be a screen that numbs your mind, or a library that enlarges it, a bed for avoidance, or a desk for creation, a place to waste time, or a place to build skill. It depends on intention. Every great philosopher understood this. Behind every public creation, there were private hours of solitude, repetition, failure, drafts, notes, reflection. What the world sees in one moment was built in 1,000 invisible moments. Your home is where those moments happen. This is the path of mastery. Part 9. Silence as a strategy for growth. When you step away from noise, your brain enters a different mode. A calm state where patterns appear, ideas connect, meaning emerges, insight happens. This is called deep thinking. Seneca said, "Withdraw into yourself, especially when forced among crowds." Because deep thinking does not happen in the crowd. It happens after the crowd. Silence is not a lack of sound. It is a different kind of awareness. You stop surviving moment to moment. You start seeing the big picture of your life, your relationships, your habits, your ambitions, your mistakes, your fears, your potential. This strategic awareness is impossible in constant stimulation. Part X, the return, re-enter the world. This is where the Stoic path is misunderstood. People think the Stoic stays alone forever. No, that is selfishness, not philosophy. A Stoic withdraws to prepare to return to the world with virtue. Marcus did not stay in his tent. He returned to his army, calm, wise, steady. Seneca did not stay in exile. He returned to Rome to advise, teach, write. Epictetus did not remain a slave. He created a school and shaped the thinking of emperors. The true cycle is withdraw, strengthen, return, serve. This is what makes Stoicism powerful. It is not a retreat from life, but a preparation for better action in life. Your home is not the final destination. It is the launching point. You return, clearer in thought, calmer in speech, wiser in decisions, stronger in emotion, sharper in discipline, deeper in values. People will feel the difference immediately, not because you speak louder, but because you need nothing from them. You are steady, you are whole, you are grounded. You can listen without insecurity. You can speak without aggression. You can lead without ego. You do not perform, you present yourself, silent, centered, strong. Part 11. Modern traps. Solitude reveals not just your strengths, but also what traps you. Comparison, addiction to validation, social identity, opinions of others, noise, urgency, culture, content overload. You realize how much of your life is built on things that do not matter. Public image, social reward, empty arguments, superficial friendships, temporary attention. In solitude, you see how expensive noise is, not in money, in focus. You pay for noise with your potential. The Stoic learns to protect attention like a soldier protects his weapon, because attention is power. Part 12. The Silent Builder. There is an archetype that appears across Stoic history, the silent builder. He does not announce his plans. He does not explain his goals. He does not post incomplete dreams. He does not ask permission to evolve. He builds quietly, invisibly. People only see the outcome, never the preparation. Marcus did this. Seneca did this. Epictetus did this. Cato did this. Every great mind in history followed the same path. Build first. Speak later. Silence protects your growth. Noise invites judgment. Silence creates momentum. Noise creates resistance. When you stay home, you learn the art of silent construction. Part 13, Guided Meditation. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Imagine a small room. Only you are inside. There is a table, a blank page, a pen. Outside, the world is noisy. But in this room, your breathing is the only sound. You sit. You write one sentence. Today, I build my inner citadel. You feel a calm strength rising from your chest. Not excitement, clarity. Feel how silence sharpens your mind. Final affirmations. Repeat slowly. My home is my dojo. My mind is my sanctuary. I build myself in silence. I grow beyond noise. I return to the world stronger. Nothing outside defines me. Everything I need is within me. I choose peace over attention. I choose discipline over distraction. I choose virtue over validation. I choose silence over noise. I am the architect of my mind. Closing message. When you build the world inside you, the world outside cannot shake you. This is the path of Stoicism. This is the path of inner mastery. This is the path of the person who controls their life, not the other way around. And it all begins in the quietest place, your own home. Not escaping life, preparing for it. Not hiding, building. Not isolating, evolving. Withdraw into yourself and come back with something the world cannot give and the world cannot take away. Self-mastery. Welcome to Stoic philosophy, where power begins inside.